Okay. I think we're live. And I'm going to need to check that we have gone live because I'm working with a new setup, as you guys might be able to tell. So hopefully I am. If you guys could drop me just a yes in the chat, if you can hear me, that would be super, super useful. Because I have a new little monitor, which means that I can see comments as I look at you guys, which is so much more useful. People are saying yes. This is a new microphone, which hopefully, if I move away from my face, you should be able to hear less and less and less and less. And hopefully I'm very quiet now. So fingers crossed that's working. Thank you, everyone. Potato Bacon and what's that? Hound of Cullen. Sorry if I've got that wrong. Ikram, Ebajar, thank you very much, everyone, for confirming that's working. I can get rid of that. I can also do really cool things like, now I've got to mess around with the lighting at some point. Hopefully the lighting looks pretty good. I'm aware we've got this like blue haze behind me, which is kind of cool, but also I think kind of messes the hands up and stuff. I know I meant to jump straight into these streams and like, and be really concise with what I say, but I'm just coming off the back of an illness and I've just been on a load of meetings and streams already today. So you're going to have a kind of a chill Alex and we're going to go through a bunch of copy, but apologies if I go into little ramblings, especially because I've got a new setup. The only problem is my screen that I'm looking at the chat on is a lot smaller, so I'm going to have to scroll up and down a lot more. I'm not going to bother atting everyone today for this stream because it's just a Whetstone Wednesday, and I don't want to disturb everyone on a Wednesday. But look, there's a light back there, and on an app on my phone, I think I can move the light. I can change the lighting of that over there. This is the most professional setup anyone on Copy That has ever had. Someone's saying the camera isn't clear. Is that true? It's fine for me. But like, I can check on YouTube. Is anyone else having a problem with the camera? Hopefully it's kind of fine. I think YouTube is compressing it slightly, which is probably what's going on. But you're not going to be looking at my face today too much anyway. And like, we can futz with the lighting another time. It's fine. I'm streaming through a software and then onto YouTube, so it's probably not the best quality. Hopefully when I record normally it's fine. Oh, people saying, no, it's good. Looks fine for me. Looks like a filter on it, maybe. I think it's just because it's coming through like a prompter thing as well. So it's going through extra gloss. I don't know why I'm saying any of this. I am really not on it today, guys. My copy knowledge is still as good as ever, so don't worry. I will still give you good reviews. But I am a little bit tired, and I'm trying to fight a bit of a cough. So, hello, welcome to this stream. I hope you're well. If you haven't seen one of these before, this is a Whetstone Wednesday stream where me or one of the other beautiful people here at Copy That will look at copy that's been sent in by our Patreon members or members of the Copywriting Platinum Collection, and I'll give my opinion on it. So let's have a look at that. I'll also do a bit of a Q&A like at the end, but I'm really going to try and keep this to no more than 2 hours today because I need to sleep and kind of get my strength back a bit. Potato Bacon said, I think it's just the lighting being mixed around too much. I think you're right. Like, I've got a ton of lights on. I can mess with the lighting another time. And also, I think that the glare of the camera, maybe if I turn the brightness down on that might help a tiny bit. Okay. Anyway, let's just do this. I hope everyone's doing well, though. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year. I feel like this might be the first Whetstone Wednesday we've done in 2025, in which case, sorry that this is how it's starting. I am going to share my screen in a moment, and we are going to kick off. So let me share screen, and let me share window. That window is the one I want to share. Oh, and I have to move this back because it won't even let me. Present, share screen, window, StreamYard. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Although, hang on. No, that's not going to work. This is so bad for a 2025 stream for the one we're kicking off with. Hang on, I promise I'm just it's just because I've got a new setup I have to get used to. Present. Share screen. Entire screen. Oh, that was what that's what I was messing up with. So screen 1, which is that one, and then we can move that, and it should just be, yeah. All right. Please, someone just confirm. Apologies for this, guys. You have copy on the page right now. I'm going to assume you do. I think we're starting with this one, and I will zoom in so people can see it. But if someone could just say yes, like you can see that, that would be really helpful. Ebujor just asked, do you have like a community of? Oh man, okay, hang on. I actually don't know if I can have that thing. Hang on, can I zoom out? Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. Do you have like a community of where people can work together? We have the copy that Discord, which should be, the link should be in the description below, which is probably the closest thing we have to that. Okay, someone just said, please guide me niche, please, which isn't a question. So I'm going to ignore that for now until you learn how to ask proper questions politely. I'm joking. You said please twice. I'm being sarcastic that, like, we're not going to be talking about niches just now. I might talk about that stuff at the end, okay? Right. I'm actually going to move StreamYard here and see if we can pop that out a little bit. I think we're just going to have to, like, we're just going to have to roll with this today. At some point, I'll try and work out how to get that over there properly. But for now, I'm going to have to look over there to answer questions. So sorry for that, guys, but we're learning. It's a learning process. All right, cool. So everyone has said, yes, they can see this. Fantastic. I'm getting into it now. First 7 minutes have been rocky. We're back on track. So we have, for anyone who's in the Discord who's reviewing this, I am only reviewing the ones on screen now, so if you put a placeholder but you didn't get any copy in, it's too late. I'm not getting any more. I need to keep this below 2 hours today. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of copy to review, so let's crack into it. First piece, love that. Copy tour, even Jesus can't save this copy. Context, writing a short product description for a baby/kids pajama set. And they have examples of the ones they want to show. Okay, fair enough. Now, I already know one of the things I'm going to say about this, but I'm going to read it first and then I'm going to share it with you guys. So this is product description to go on a product page. A product page, of course, is something where you're selling usually a physical product. So in this case, it's a set of pajamas that someone would get shipped to them. Scream Team 2-piece pajama set. Let your kids' imaginations run wild with the cute characters from Disney and Pixar's movie, Pixar's Monsters, Inc. So cute that your kids will love and pick them out for bedtime all by themselves. Your kids will love their bedtime even more with custom-milled, buttery soft skin fabric that's perfect even for sensitive skin. Combine that with no tags inside to irritate their skins. It's like your kids are sleeping on the cloud with their favorite movie characters. Gift your kids Scream Team 2-piece pajama set today and watch the scream filled with joy. Okay, before I even get to the bullets, something I got to tell you, right? Product description copy is probably the least sought after copy that there is, and the reason being is that a product description on its own will so rarely ever sell anything. Because there's a funnel that people have to go through to get to the product page when it's a product description like that. There's either a sales page beforehand, or there's an ad, or it's a very obvious product. In this case, it's an obvious product. It's a set of pajamas. I'm going to try not to swear. It's a set of pajamas, right? So like you don't need to be super persuasive. You just need to show people what it is. And guess what? How are parents picking out pajamas for their kids? If the pajamas have got their favorite characters on. That's pretty much the only thing that goes through their heads 90% of the time. So doing all this kind of adjective stuff about like, oh, they're going to love it. It's, custom milled and, it's beautiful and it's got soft skin fabric. Majority of people are not going to care about that in any way. So this like it isn't really the best to practice. You can certainly say this is practice in terms of like, you know, brand building copy. If you want, or if a company wants all of their products to be read out a certain way and they want people to feel like they really care about every single thing they're writing, I can see value to it. But in terms of like persuasiveness, there's not really anything here that's going to persuade someone on a product page to buy this pajamas. That's not your fault, whoever wrote this. That's just a product description. Like, the way that I always describe it is product pages, like, they're there for confirmation, not for persuasion, right? They're there to just have people like check off boxes in their head, like, yeah, this is what I was expecting. So you don't need to worry about product descriptions too much. Do I recommend practicing them? Not really. Like, I have a bit of a formula for product descriptions so I can get them done easily, which can help on certain products, but we'll go into that another time. It's not important right this second. The most important lesson here is like, don't stress about product descriptions. Now, what you do have here is like, you're kind of milling around this idea of soft skin, which is obviously like, you know, an intellectual property, like an IP you've come up with to say that it's the best kind of thing, or it's soft on kids' skin or whatever, which is fine. But like, that usually, if a parent is buying a product because of that, they're only buying it because of that. Like, they're specifically searching for pajamas that are good for kids with eczema, or aren't going to irritate the skin, or aren't going to give them a rash and stuff like that. So if that's the case, then what I'd recommend is you really lean in to like this. Like, this stuff is just so irrelevant to me buying it because I can see it's a Monsters Inc. set of like pajamas. So really, this is kind of doing nothing in terms of direct response persuasion. This might be doing something if one of the objections they have is, I want to make sure it's not itchy for them, or if the thing they're specifically looking for is a set of pajamas that are not going to itch, which is fine, but that's something that will have been advertised to them further behind in the funnel, so in the ad, for example. Let's read these bullets though, because the bullets are often in product descriptions. Buttery soft, custom made from soft skin fabric that's perfect even for sensitive and eczema prone skin. Like, yep, that's fine. As a product bullet, that's fine. You're kind of saying it's good for sensitive and eczema prone skin because of this thing. You don't really need to think about it more than that. Winter, summer, doesn't matter. Stay cool during summer and cozy during winter for seasonless fabric. Fine. No more itchy spots, no snaps, buttons, or interior tags. Cool. ×3 stretch, fits that will grow as your kids grow. Awesome. No harmful chemicals. Follow straight to see. Okay. So these are like decent bullets, and because they're doing the thing that bullets should do on an e-commerce product page, they are overcoming objections. They are confirming things that the parent either hoped would be the case or already knew was the case. You know, like that this isn't going to give my kid a rash, that this is going to help them, like they're not going to grow out of it anytime soon. Like, all that stuff is fine. Having that in bullets next to the product description is a very, very simple and easy way to like just make people go like, yep, this is what I was hoping for. There's nothing else I need to worry about. Fantastic. So decent bullets there for a e-commerce perspective. But something I have to say that I didn't point out at the time is just like, there are a few kind of just English grammatical errors. Is grammatical a word? That's ironic if it isn't. I think it is. There's a few just like grammar errors here of just like, for example, where is it? Where was the cloud thing? Yeah, it's like your kids are sleeping on the cloud with their favorite movie characters. The cloud? What, you mean like in Wi-Fi world? Like, what does that mean? It's like a cloud, for example. And there was another bit with the cute characters from Disney and Pixar's Monsters Inc. So cute, your kids will love and pick them out for bedtime all by themselves. Your kids will love their bedtime even more with custom blah, blah, blah. Fabric that's perfect even for sensitive skin, combined with no tags to irritate their skins. It's like your kids sleeping on the cloud. Gift your kids Scream Team 2-piece pajamas set today and watch them scream with joy. There's like a few bits in there where like it doesn't quite feel like native English. It feels kind of like someone is getting the sentences slightly wrong. So again, just read this out loud, put it past an English as a first language speaker if you're not one, just to make sure that when you turn this into a client, they're not going to turn around and be like, that doesn't make sense, or that sounds weird. Just something important to know there. Someone said, is that true for product landing pages too? I don't know what you mean by product landing pages. Are you talking that there are product pages where, you know, typically a product page is like what you would see on Amazon, or what you would see when you go on an online store and you click through to see a product? Like, that is a product page. E.g., you can click add to cart on it. Like, that is what I mean when I say product page, often shortened to PDP. A landing page is a far broader term, which just means any web page that you are sending someone to. So anything can be a landing page. So can you rephrase your question, please? And also refer to what I said at the time when you asked that. Is it better to make title for each bullet, or it depends on the product? What do you mean? Is it better to make a title for each bullet? What do you mean? What do you mean title? The majority of ecom product pages will just be image. So they'll be like image here. This isn't okay. I'm just gonna draw it with my hands. There'll be like an image here. There will be like the price here, maybe like a testimonial if they're good, and options. Then there'll be like an add to cart button and a description below that with like bullets either next to it or underneath it. Move those things about a bit and you have basically 99% of product pages. So when you say title, I'm not sure what you mean. Like bullets like this often are like just next to, either under, next to, or are the description, right? Not every ecom product needs a block text product description. A lot of them, particularly on Amazon, will just have bullets. And again, the point is for ecom products, it's usually about confirmation, not about persuasion. If they've got to that point where they're on the product page, it's because they already know they want the thing. They just want to make sure that all of their objections are overcome and it is what they were expecting to see. Bruno said, I think he means like this, then a colon, and then nothing. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to send something else. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Okay, soft skin, blah, blah, repeat for the other bullets. Right, what? So you mean like having a title, like the first couple words be like a summary of what that bullet is about, I think is what you mean. Right, okay. Is that better? It doesn't matter. Like it really, as long as you're getting it across in basically as few words as possible, great. For example, let me give you an example. Let's say like I've had to buy a bunch of lighting and equipment recently. So one of the objections I had for buying a big light, which you can't see, but it's there. One of the objections I had for buying a big light was how easy is it to adjust the height? Because like my ceiling is quite tall, and also I need to make sure it's kind of here but over my desk, so I need to make sure I can adjust it enough. So in the product description of that light that I bought, one of the first things was just in bold letters was like adjustable height, and it was something like 3 to 7 foot. Immediately answers my objection. And then I think there was like a little bit after that that said like, oh, use like the sliding mechanism and a magnet or whatever to set the height that suits you with 360 degree, turning, something like that. So I don't really care if they put a title first or just had it as a whole bullet. As long as it's easy for me to see and I can immediately see it's overcome my objection, doesn't really matter. So don't overthink it. Rashida said, question refers to a statement that product descriptions are not in demand from clients. Product landing page dedicated to selling a single product, also not in demand. I'm assuming you mean a sales page. I'm guessing, is that what you mean? And like, just to confirm, I did not say that, I didn't say product pages aren't in demand. I said product descriptions. And it's not that they're not in demand. It's just that there won't be many businesses that pay you tons and tons of money for product descriptions, because ultimately, like, they don't really drive conversion that much. There are people who pay a lot of money for product pages and for you to like set the headline, to set like, right, what images are going where on the page? Is it a longer page? Is there copy and objections throughout it? Are there FAQs? What are you doing for the bullets? What are you doing for the product description? What testimonials are you picking? Are you putting them on what part of the pages? So in terms of like, there is a lot of demand. I work with a ton of ecom businesses. There's really high demand for copywriters and conversion experts who understand like how product pages should look, what the copy should be, how it should be kind of composed. So that's definitely in demand. I think what you're referring to is just a sales page, e.g., not a page where someone can buy a product. And look, don't worry too much about definitions here. There are sales pages where like it will just be a sales argument. Then someone has to click to go through to the product page, which comes after it. There are also sales pages where you can buy the product on that sales page. So it feels more like it's a full sales page. And then at the bottom, there will be a box where you can actually buy the product. It really depends on the niche, like in what the funnel strategy is. But these things are definitely in demand. I'm just making the point that product descriptions in and of themselves are never going to earn you tons and tons of money if you're just writing product descriptions. Hopefully that makes sense. Cool. All right, cool. I think that's good. All right. Boom, that was easy. Let's hope they are all that easy to review. Happy New Year, Senpai. Happy New Year. Something, I don't know who sent this in, but I was going to say something Kun, but I don't know who sent this in, but like, I'm not going to get my Discord up to find out, but happy birthday, you weeb you. Happy birthday? Oh my God. Happy New Year. This is why I shouldn't be streaming right now, because my brain is, all the brain juice is going into copywriting, not into like normal conversation. Happy New Year. Email, lift to product page. Originally an ad that sold gaming chairs that cast too wide a net, full of jargon and no benefit. Okay. Modify to an ergonomic back support chair that adjusts you, thus relieving back pain. Okay, fine. Men who do just desk jobs for 8 or more hours a day. Please excuse the weird formatting, and it's the secret lab. I have this exact chair, so I know it well. So it's a lift to a product page. And interestingly, when it comes to emails which are leading to product pages, e-commerce product pages I'm talking about, e.g. physical products, most of the time, like, they're very different to lifts, as we would call them when we're referring to informational products or financial and stuff like that, because it's less about intrigue. Like, you're not trying to do DIC, the dick formula where you disrupt intrigue and then elicit the click. Instead, it's far more direct. Usually it's far more about a specific benefit of the product, a lot of images, and usually combined with an offer or a reason to buy now. So it's less about just trying to get them to click to the page and persuade them on the page, far more about reminding them of why this thing is awesome, why they're on the list in the first place, because you were interested or because you bought something from us before. I'm sorry if I cough, guys. I am coming off the back of COVID. Subject line and preview. Again, by the way, I had COVID again, like last month as well. Sucks. Anyway, subject line and preview text. These are 3 options, I'm guessing. Back pain free working hours with this patent pending cold foam technology. Save your productivity. Ergonomic chair for back pain. Work chair not supportive enough, supporting you in every position. All right. 2 things I want to bring up here. Number 1. Now, I don't know this for a fact. I kind of do. Most people who work in offices don't get to buy or pick the chair that they work on. In my experience, maybe that's different around the world, but most times you just get the chair you're given. So I would question the intelligence of targeting workers, saying, hey, take this to the office. I would be thinking more about people who work from home is who I would be targeting. So just one thing there, just to like make sure you kind of, this isn't even about the copy. It's just about like, well, who would we be targeting and why would we be targeting them? So that's one thing to just keep in mind. 2, who is going to buy an ergonomic chair? People who work from home and who have back pain, and people who feel like they kind of want the best of everything and want cool stuff, right? That's why I bought this chair. Was I suffering from back pain? Not really. Like, I wasn't always comfortable because I was sitting down all day. I just wanted a cool chair. I just wanted to upgrade. So, like, I fell into that latter camp, right? Do any of the, like, save your productivity, like, that's a weak subject line. I don't care about saving my productivity. There's no way I'm on this email list of the secret lab email list because I care about productivity. I'm here because I thought a desk was really cool, or I thought one of their products was cool, not for productivity. So I would scratch that immediately. No point. Back pain free working hours, a bit of a clunky sentence and doesn't really roll off the tongue. So I was a bit confused at like what it means, because I read back pain as one thing and then free working hours, not back pain free working hours, which is what it's trying to say. So don't really like that. Again, though, like that's at least being a bit more direct, which is trying to say if you have back pain, like you need to look at this. However, if that is what you're targeting and your whole message is going to be, this is for people who have back pain, you can be a lot better about it than just saying that. Work chair not supportive enough. I've already discussed why I don't think work, targeting people who work on, have work chairs, i.e. in the office, is useful. So none of these are doing too well for me. Instead, I would decide what you actually want to focus on first. What's going to get someone to look at this and open it? Is it really hammering home on back pain, or is it just being super direct about like, this is the best office chair, the new best office chair? Because that can work. Some people do just want the best of stuff, do just want the next thing, do just want the coolest thing. And you can go hyper aggressive with that. You can like literally send someone, like, does your office chair suck, and then you can use some kind of soft expletive, or like, this chair will destroy all the chairs in your house. Okay, something super aggressive and weird where it's like, what? Like, I need to kind of see what that is, appealing to someone who wants the best of stuff, and it's grabbing attention because it's so different in the inbox. That can work. In this case, I would probably be like erring more towards back pain, just because it's a pain, it's a problem, it's things that we know people have issues with. Because anyone who I think who sits on a chair all day, like, will find themselves kind of doing that, doing what I do. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me pause and look at the chat just again. I really want that screen over there, but it's just not happening right now. Off topic, how does someone submit a piece of copyright on the Patreon? So you need to make sure your Patreon account is linked to your Discord account, so then you have access to the Copy That Discord's private channels, and then we will tag you on Discord, and you can have a look, and you can submit your thing through Discord, basically. The Polish femboys are at it again. I wish, Bruno. I wish. Thank you, Jessica, just telling someone what I just told them. So thank you for that. I didn't need to say that. Okay, cool. Oh, and Adam also said it, so I really wasn't needed. Sit comfortably for hours without back pain with the self-adjusting cold cure foam. So this here is the headline within the email. And as suspected, you're going like hard on the back pain side. Fine. What I think about this headline, sit comfortably for hours without back pain, does what it says in the tin, like, fine. With the self-adjusting cold cure foam, interesting, fine. Like, you're at least adding a new dimension to this, which is this thing happens because of this, so it immediately makes it more powerful, slightly more intrigued, because if I do have back pain, I'm then going to be like, I want to know that what you've got is actually going to help. That helps prove it. There's a reason that it's going to be better for me, apparently. However, I think self-adjusting cold cure foam is a bit of a mouthful. If you want to have like cold cure as like the IP, I don't know if this is Titan's like actual thing, but if you want to have cold cure as the thing, I would put that in quotation marks, and I would make more of a direct reference to how this is a chair specifically. Like, so sit comfortably for hours, like, or I probably wouldn't say that. I'd say like eliminate back pain is probably what I would say, eliminate back pain, even like if you sit for 8+ hours a day with like brand new cold cure formula foam, whatever, in Titan lab chair, right? Like, that's what it would be. Bit of a mouthful. You can obviously cut that down and copyify it a tiny bit, but I would get those main beats in this headline and then immediately below it, I would have like a huge image like of the chair and of like, the kind of, what you call it, banner image, thank you, of the email. So it's immediate, it's obvious I can click it, basically. I should also probably put do not disturb on as well. So give me a sec to do that. Always Slack. It's always Slack. All right, there we go. You are damaging your back by sitting behind a desk for more than 8 hours a day. Irrelevant. If I have back pain, and I've opened this because I have back pain, and you've talked about back pain, I fucking know. You don't need to say that. From nerve injury to disc bulges, the damage done to your back over time is too high a price. Again, I don't give a shit about my back over time. I give a shit that I've got back pain now. You do not need to be showing this as some kind of prevention. You can add that as like a and point later on and say, plus it's going to help you in the future. Like, but I don't give a shit about the future me. I give a shit about me now. No man should ever have to suffer while he's winning bread for his family. Like, again, this is almost kind of leaning into like copy cliches that don't need to be there. You don't need to sympathize with me like, oh, I'm winning bread for my family. I just want to cure my back pain. I sit a lot and I don't want back pain. Help me to do that. Right now, none of this is saying that. None of this is explaining the cold cure foam. None of this is persuading me and giving me the justification I need to go like, oh, that's why this chair works. This is fluff. You deserve the best and shouldn't settle for anything less. Cliche, fluff, cut it. Which is why we engineered the self-adjusting Titan Evo chair to ease the strain on your back. Right, you've only just mentioned the product in an ecom email, which is very direct, and there's a very direct solution to. So it's like, I've had to go through all that to even find it. Cut all of that, hit the beats in the headline like I told you to, throw the image up here with ideally a diagram or explanation of why it's working, and just say like, the new Titan Evo is engineered to da-da-da-da-da, whatever it is, whatever the mechanism is that helps me to relieve back pain. The world's first magnetic memory foam, like, okay, fine, that's starting to explain the mechanism of it. No one sits perfectly. No one can sit perfectly for hours on end. You shift your posture many times throughout the day, meaning the pressure felt on your back is different each time. Okay, fine. Now, am I saying this is perfect? No. Can this be cut down a little bit? Absolutely. However, you're starting now to get into like, okay, well, perhaps the reason for back pain when I'm sitting is because people move throughout the day. That plants a logic seed in my brain to make me think, oh, well, there must be a solution to fix that, which is obviously what is in this chair. So that makes sense to me because that actually is taking the problem that I obviously care about, giving me a reason I have that problem, and then giving me a unique mechanism that solves it, right? So starting to get more along the right lines. Which is why the secret blah, blah, blah chair is built to conform to you every time you switch postures, making sure you're pain-free and fully concentrated on work. Dynamic lumbar support that adapts to you. The L-Adapt lumbar support system can move in all four directions. Okay, well, you're talking about dynamic lumbar here, but up here you've been talking about cold cure foam. And you've mentioned magnetic memory foam. So what one is it? One idea, guys. Stick to one idea. Rule of one. Stop throwing all these different things in to vie for my attention. Stop talking about family. Stop talking about preventing slip discs. I have back pain. I want to know it can be solved. Tell me why I have back pain. Like, explain to me like the reason it is and why my chair probably sucks for it. Show me the one thing that your chair does that's going to solve that. And then maybe I'll be like, damn, yeah, this is the chair for me. Strikes perfect balance between soft cushioning and ergonomic support with our cold cure foam patent pending Secret Lab Nano Foam to relieve stress and maximize comfort over long hours of sitting. Like, okay, yeah, fine. But again, this is basically just repeating what you've already said, which is, hey, this thing is going to do this thing for you. You've already told me you're going to do this thing for me. You haven't really told me what the mechanism is here that is going to make it happen, right? So click here to learn more. You can make this so much stronger by cutting this whole thing to like no more than 4 lines of copy maybe, and having a big headline, like a good strong headline, an obvious button CTA with a diagram in the email to show why it's the best to attack regular office chairs, say they're the problem, that's what's causing your back pains because they don't adjust as you move throughout the day. R1 does because of this thing that we've just developed. Click here to secure yours now. And then if there's an offer on, you mentioned that. Great. Perfect e-commerce email. That's what you need to be doing. Okay, quick look at the chat. I hate that being so far over there, though. You know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to bring it back to my little screen, and we're just going to deal with it. And maybe you guys are going to get something that doesn't often happen. I'm going to wear my glasses so I can see better. Maybe this is the new Alex, which hasn't really helped. And probably light is reflecting on my glasses. Okay, so what are we saying? I'm trying to come up with a headline for this email, but it's being harder than I thought. Bruno, is this yours? Is this your email? Or are you just saying you're just trying to come up with a new one for this email? I was going to ask if eliminate back pain is better, but you beat me to it. I feel vindicated. Like, yeah. And again, like the words I'm using don't actually matter too much. And we say that a lot in copywriting. You know, it's less about the specific words I'm using. It's more about the idea that I'm getting across. Eliminate back pain, get rid of back pain, you know, suffering from back pain, ? All this stuff is basically doing the same thing because, and most e-commerce products are pretty simple, pretty problem solution, like you know what they're going to do, you can be very upfront and direct with just saying, hey, do you have this problem? And you can use any combination of words to get that across. The lines are targeted towards working family man. When will you drop the huge course? I will give a little bit of an update on this right now. So for the 40 or so people who are here right now, Copy That are releasing a big, long, free course this year, which we spent like $30,000 or $30,000. Can't remember how much it was. In the tens of thousands of dollars, and 2 weeks producing and filming in Florida. We were hoping to have it out in early January, but it's become a lot bigger than we planned, and we're also still making more content for it to make it as good as possible. So the course hopefully will be out in February. The last I checked, and our editor, thanks Noah, is going through it at the moment. The last I checked, it hit 12 hours. I imagine it's probably going to get up to like 18 by the time we're done. I'm actually doing, I mean, you guys might have seen on the YouTube channel, I'm doing a live stream tomorrow about how to get jobs in-house, which we're live streaming now just so you can get the information as quick as possible, but that will also be going into our long free course. So hopefully February. I'm not going to rule out March because we really are trying to make this as good as possible, and we still need to make a whole email companion guide for it to like give you guys as many tasks and resources as possible. But yeah, when that drops, it is going to be, I mean, I'm just going to say it, like, it's going to be the best copywriting resource on YouTube for free, like without a doubt. And I'm usually quite English and reserved about these things, but we've worked really fucking hard on this, and we really have thought about every single line and every single chapter and how it's going to get the most good to the most amount of people, and to be principle based and not just quick shitty lessons all fumbled together about like, oh, here's how to write an email, here's how to do the landing page. It's like very principle driven. So I'm pretty proud of it. So I'm looking forward to it. You're starting to look like Sean. Never fucking say that to me. I'm joking, Sean. I love you. That took me way too long, but that helped. Awesome. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I'm glad it helped. Is being direct and straightforward usually better than trying to reinvent the wheel, because I keep getting tugged in both directions? So it really, like, it depends on what you're writing for, right? And this is the thing I say about e-commerce copywriting is the product is doing most of the work for you in most cases. It's obvious what the product does. You can afford to be usually quite direct, tell people what they want to hear, get rid of their objections, and people will buy, or they'll at least click through to the next stage. So you don't need to be terribly clever when it comes to e-commerce copy. You just need to be clear. You need to do good research so you understand why people are buying in the first place, and you need to communicate it like in as short, in as few words as possible, basically. The more copy you have, usually the better, as long as that copy is actually all serving a purpose. So that question is impossible to answer because it totally depends on the product you're writing for and the audience. That's why you need to let the research guide you, and you need to plan out your copy properly each time you write it. If there's one thing I've heard over and over about copy, it's try not to reinvent the wheel. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, the other thing is, a lot of people talk about swiping, which obviously is, is something you should be doing, and having a look for good copy and seeing what the beats of good copy are. But also, don't be afraid to put some originality into it. When we say don't reinvent the wheel, like, do things work, stick to good psychological principles, which we've talked about millions of times before. But originality is like a massive key to copy as well. And usually the more complex the product, the newer the product, the more abstract the product, the more original you need to be, the less direct you need to be, typically when it comes to like info product offers. But so often you can just get quite far just by writing pretty bog standard, like direct, rehashed copy that fits fits like new products and stuff like that. How much is it going to be? Oh my God, please link. I've been thinking about this earlier, needing a course from you guys. Oh, the course I just mentioned is going to be free. That's going up on YouTube. Like, so that the whole point of that course is like, we always say our free stuff is meant to take people from 0 to 1, i.e. complete beginner to earning money as a copywriter. We don't want to take money if you're not earning money right now. Like, if we ever find out that like new copywriters have paid us, like we have a go at them. We say, why have you paid us? Go and look at all the free stuff first, and then when you're earning money, buy it. people who already have enough money in life, if they have other careers, like I'm more okay with that because like you can spend your money on whatever you want, just don't break the bank. But the whole point of our resources are the free stuff is for newbie copywriters to get your first paying clients. This course covers everything from copywriting principles through to like some tactics and stuff as well, through to how to research, through to how to actually write and put word to paper, all the way through to how to get clients. So the how to get clients section like is hours long, and we talk through like 4 or 5 different methods for how to get them. That's all going to be free on YouTube. We're making one big one. We've invested a lot of money into it, which we're obviously not getting any money back for it, because we want to just point all beginners to a resource where it's like, if they're like, oh, what's the secret? What can I do? No secret. Go watch that. Go implement it, and you will start earning money, is what we want to be able to say. I think you are British, Okay. I don't know what that means. I want to be like you, Alex. I mean, in the same niche. What should I learn to group the basics instead of... what should I learn to grasp the basics instead of copywriting? I don't know what you mean. As in, you want to be in the same niche as me, but what do you learn instead of copywriting? You should be learning copywriting. Like, that's where I started. I assume you mean e-commerce, in which case just buy products from stores online or sign up to their lists. See what's coming through. Most of it will be dog shit. Then rewrite it with the copywriting principles you have in mind, and just keep asking yourself, okay, would someone buy this based on the copy I've written? Am I missing anything? Does it work? Like, basically just do that. But the free course coming out will hopefully give you more of an idea. I get so anxious with e-commerce because I'm worried about it getting lost in all the other good copy. It's okay. I've made a mission to say this every time I see it. Never say the word copies when you're talking about copy. Copies is not a word in the context of copywriting, okay? It's either a piece of copy, like there are several pieces of copy, so that's how you do a plural, pieces of copy, or you just say copy, the copy I have written over my career. That is like a plural in and of itself. Just make sure you're either saying, oh yeah, I've written 15 pieces of copy, or I have written a lot of copy in my life. You should never be saying copies. That is not the correct plural for copy in this context. If you're talking about like, hey, I'm going to make 15 copies of this piece of paper, or there are 10 copies of that game that I have, or whatever, that's fine, but that's not talking about copywriting copy. I will bring this up every time I see someone use it because I'm sick of people saying copies. Anyway, I get so anxious with e-commerce because I'm worried about it getting lost in all the other good copy, because the powerful formulas are the powerful formulas. Not sure what that means. But please rephrase that if you can. Adam says this mega course will absolutely stun the PAS copies 10K a month beginners. Hopefully, the only real hope I have for it is that it helps as many people as possible start to earn a living. That honestly, like if one person, and obviously we've had people say this to us from our other free stuff, if one person watches that and then starts to earn a comfortable living and is happier in their life, I will have seen all of that money spent 100% worth it. So yeah, go and watch that. Please succeed. Go and make money and live a good life. Like that is what I want. You do not need to pay anyone any money for courses. It's gonna be free. You guys spend 30K on it. We did. Obviously, like there's the long-term effect of hopefully what happens is you guys will watch it, earn money, and then you will want to get even better at copywriting, and that's when you can come back to our paid stuff, which helps us grow as a business and helps us be able to do this stuff. But like, you don't need to do that. Once you've got it and you're earning money, go wild, go live your life. How different is the course going to be? I will get back to Whetstone Wednesday, guys. I promise in a minute. I'm just trying to read all these questions for the new year. How different is it going to be from the 5-hour crash course? Pretty different. Like there are concepts within it that I've changed. I'm still proud of the 5-hour video, but there's like stuff that I would have changed in it. Because I recorded that 4 years ago. You know, I know it's 2 years on YouTube, but like I recorded it like, you know, 3 or 4 years ago. And I would have changed it like since then, changed certain parts of it. So this new one is kind of almost like a remade version of that, but it's way, way bigger because we go into a ton more like principle stuff, a ton more examples, like examples from loads of different niches. There's a whole section, of course, on outreach, which I didn't go into in the 5-hour video. So it's going to be pretty different. What kind of types of copy do you write the most for e-commerce, Alex? Like, I mean, I do obviously still write copy, but I don't write copy anywhere near as much as I used to for e-com because I'm usually busy just consulting and showing other people, you know, reviewing their copy, people who work for my brands and stuff and how to do it. But if I'm writing for e-com, tends to be like welcome sequences I quite enjoy doing. I'll often like look at product page conversions and optimization and how we can make that better. Is there anything else I really like writing? Facebook ad scripts. That is probably the one I should have started with because that's far and away what I write most of now is just video ad scripts. Because in my opinion, like, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to say something and I don't want you guys to take this too literally, but I'm going to say it because I want to cause chaos. If you want to make money as a copywriter, in my absolute biased Alex Myatt opinion, I would be focusing on video script writing for e-commerce ads because like there is mass demand for that and I don't think it's going to die away anytime soon. And the shit that people try to do with AI or like basic copywriting like themselves is so bad. So there's a big gap for that right now. And like I know there are so many brands. I definitely shouldn't say this because I'm going to get people message me now, but like there are so many brands who I work with who like are desperate for good video script copywriters and who are like, Alex, please refer us people. And I've just run out of people to refer them because it's like all the people I refer are already working for people. That is not the opinion of copy. That is just the opinion of me in a biased way. And that is not even true. Like that is not the best niche. There is no best niche. Just go and do stuff that you want to do. Go and make money wherever because money is everywhere. Purple, blue, bisexual, pride lighting. Yeah, I'm glad Sean brought that up. That was not my intention, but hey ho. We roll with it. I'm already in this niche for 6 months and I want to upgrade my knowledge more to be multi-skill with e-commerce. My English is bad. I'm going to say something to you right now. Is it my career? My career. Saying your English is bad is not a fucking excuse. You need to make your English good if you want to write copy in English. Now, if you don't want to write copy in English, it's fine and please disregard everything I just said. But like, if you're wanting to write copy and like talk to English speaking brands and consult with them, you need to get your English up to a standard where it is like, you know, effectively native. Because it's going to be so much harder for you to work with clients and convince clients that they can do stuff with you if it's not at that level. And we have a lot of people from non-English speaking countries who have been sold this dream of like copywriting is easy and you can make loads of money from copywriting. And I have to say, it's not, one, it's not easy, and two, you have to have a good degree of English because if you don't, people will not hire you for those good jobs. So just saying my English is bad in parentheses to me, fucking, I can sit here and go, oh yeah, no worries, let me teach you about all this other stuff. You can't say to a client, my English is bad, because they're going to go, okay, we're not going to hire you then. If you're overseeing marketing and copywriting. So that needs to be your focus for the next year at least. Make your English good, native level. Watch TV, read books, listen to podcasts of native English speakers and imbibe that. The most successful ESL people I know, English as a second language people that I know, they made that their priority first. And they're doing much better now because of it. This has just turned into a Q&A stream, and I'm sorry for people whose copy I meant to be reviewing, and I said this is only going to be 2 hours long. And there have been so many questions. Oh my God. Stop asking questions, everyone, just for a second. I'm going to review a few more pieces and then I will come back to where I was to carry on the questions. All right. Next one. Context. Practice product landing page for a hair growth supplement. Grad bestseller from Amazon. So based on a real product that I did additional research on. Okay, cool. Very aware audience. The major criticism I get here is that my headlines are boring. So I have a headline for a second version of the page at the very end. Can you take a look if you have the time after going through and let me know which headline is better? Also, Is this good enough to use the portfolio page? Okay, so this is a product page. All right, for a hair growth product. The nature-backed breakthrough for women losing their hair to thinning and shedding. Okay, not bad, I like it. Hair loss making you wish you were invisible. Restore your confidence with the award-winning all-natural supplement thousands of women trust to restore thicker, fuller hair they can be proud of. Okay, not bad. I don't dislike this right now, right? For a few reasons. Is this the best copy in the world? I'm not saying it's the best copy in the world, but a few reasons. Nature-backed breakthrough makes me feel like there's some more weight to this product, and it's not just something that's like random. So it's giving me, it makes the product feel far more real when I'm looking at it. Calls out directly, immediately, who this is for. Women losing their hair to thinning and shedding. Fantastic. You're calling out. My product description formula, which I call copper oxide, is call out, USP, objection. Call out who you're trying to sell to, say the best, most interesting, most unique thing about your product, and then overcome the biggest objection. If you can do that, like in your product description, or just on the top of your product page, you're doing a great job. So that's what I like to do, and this is starting to do that here. So what did I say earlier on? Sean has just joined, which means I need to find my headphones and put them on.
Oh no!
Hey Sean.
Hey man. So you still
it's
have
not currently working. Hang on.
Oh no.
There we go. No, I'm good. How you doing?
So you haven't solved the audio coming out of the speakers at the same time you're using the fancy mic problem?
Is that your way of saying that's happening?
Well, yeah, you had to put your headphones on. Hello, everybody.
Wait. Oh, I see. No, I just prefer it in this because I can hear your voice in all its tones. You can't hear yourself, right?
I mean, no, not at all.
Okay, we're fine. No, I solved that problem then.
So what was it you said earlier about that particular deck copy?
Oh, yes. Thanks, Sean. The thing I said about product pages, product page deck copy and product pages, what we call above the fold, is that it's about confirmation, not persuasion, right? And the only annoying thing about when people send me product pages is I don't know what people have seen beforehand. My assumption is always just a Facebook ad or an email that has said, hey, this is great for people who have this problem, right? So that's what my assumption is. But this is doing like a fine job right now. Restore your confidence with the award-winning all-natural supplement thousands of women trust to restore thicker, fuller hair they can be proud of. You've got the call out, you're telling me what the benefit is, and you are starting to give me proof that this works, at least for a lot of women, with specific evidence of how many reviews there are down here, and a reference to an award it's won. Those are great proof points because that's confirming what I want to see. It's overcoming objections, which is, does this really work? And well, yeah, it seems to really work. And you've started to introduce a mechanism here, which is a nature-backed breakthrough, which of course further down the page you can start to develop on, which is something I'll come to in a minute. The only other thing I would say that I know works really well for product pages is moving a specific testimonial up the page. So you actually have like the words from someone because it makes it feel far more real, and it's another easy way to overcome an objection. However, what you've done is use this as the headline, which is pretty good as well, right? Like, that's something that people probably are feeling. That may well be IVOC data you've got there, like people saying, oh, I just wish I was invisible. And you're using it where the product name would usually be, which is one of my biggest critiques of a lot of product pages. Like, do you need the product name there? Does it need to take up that prime real estate? Usually no. So this is what I would say in the top kind of like 20% of product pages that I have seen so far. So good job. Sean, anything to add to this kind of hero section of the product page?
No, everything that you said in terms of like actual comments was sort of almost like a greatest hits of like Alex's recommendations for product pages. Like I have a sort of mental checklist of like what you typically say when it comes to product pages, and you hit every single one. I loved it.
There we go. A consistency. There we go.
I will gladly chime in when I have something interesting or relevant to say, but I mostly wanted to hang out because I am waiting for the boot camp video to finish processing so I can upload it, and I need to put in the boot camp homework. So I'm just going to like work over here a little bit and just kind of hang out with you.
I will let you crack on. I still need to, this is good for me because this is helping me like work out what I'm going to change for my setup tomorrow when I do the free masterclass.
Very cool. It looks good, by the way, man.
It does. Is this like blue light too weird?
It's too glowy. So what ends up happening is that you get a sort of like artifact of like the halo, but if you turn the brightness down a little bit, it will be a lot clearer and still provide that sort of depth of field that you're trying to achieve.
See, I can't turn the brightness down on it annoyingly. It's just on and off. So I'm considering just putting some like see-through tape over it or something to dull it. This is not a conversation to have when there are 50 people trying to learn about copywriting. But anyway, I will think of something. So what we've got here, guys, we're a bit e-commerce heavy today, which obviously I like, but what we've got here is like, this is what I always refer to as kind of the action section of the page, where it's at the top. It's where you add to cart, hence the add to cart button. It's where the summary is happening. It's where people kind of who are already interested in the product usually just need to see this and then they'll add to cart. The only other thing that I would add here, and it's something I try to add to all the product pages that I make, I add objection fighting bullets, where they usually go either like under the photo, next to the description, somewhere so they're still above the fold, which overcome the biggest objections people have that you'll know from your research. So in this case, it might be something like, it doesn't contain a certain chemical that maybe people who know about hair thinning solutions really hate, or that it's all natural, the delivery is like 1 to 2 days, or next day delivery, that it lasts for 30 days or whatever, that it can be used on all hair types and colors, that kind of stuff. Things where people are going like, oh, I know I want this thing, but what if this and what if that, oh, and what if that. Usually to make sure that those little check boxes they have are just ticked, and the easy way to do that is with bullets. As we move further down the page, this is for people who have kind of come here and like it, but they want more. They want more proof. They want to be persuaded a little bit more potentially. This is what I said earlier about sometimes product and sales pages almost merging into one. And it's like a long form product page where confirmation is still like the key of it, but also you're going through objections that people have and you're actually fleshing out the proof and the evidence. So it's just backing everything up you're saying 10 times. So an all-natural formulation clinically proven to thicken thinning hair. Fine. No problem with that. Repetition legitimizes, as we like to say, and you're repeating the main claim in one simple sentence. Fine. The science. 9 out of 10 women saw thicker hair in just 1 week, whether the source of their thinning was stress, lifestyle, diet, or hormonal. Forget struggling to find hairstyles to cover those thin spots that make you wish you're invisible. Fine. This here, this is something that I would have in a bullet up here, works for like thinning hair from stress, lifestyle, diet, or hormonal, because that seems like it might be one of the big questions that people have a problem with. Lessen shedding. You keep saying caption appropriate for photo. Something I want to see if someone turns in an ecom product page to me, I want to see the photos. I want you to try and source. It doesn't have to be the exact photos, but describe what is going to be in the photo. You need to think about those things as well. So what have we got? Thick and thinning hair, lessen shedding. Women in our study saw a 39% decrease in shedding hair that used to come out by the handful. With less shedding, you can say goodbye to the trauma of seeing clumps of hair on your brush. Okay, cool. So again, for this, it would be a massive, for me, it would be a big photo of a hairbrush, going through hair and there being a bunch of clumped hair on it. Maybe with a big cross through it. Just something that people recognize as something they experience. Restore length and fullness. The science, 92% of women said with thicker, longer hair, their quality of life improved. Take back the old you who wasn't afraid to shop for social or romantic occasions. Yeah, fine. Now I'm just going to skim through this, not read all the copy, and just see what the sections are like. The magic is in a formula derived from indigenous culture. Okay, awesome. You're now going into the mechanism of why this works. Talking about Scandinavian scientists discovered this thing after 25 years. Fantastic. This does not need to be as dialed in as info product copy, right? This does not need to be as dialed in where it's a VSL and everything relies on this being perfect. The fact that you're even giving a reason that this works and introducing the mechanism, that's great, Basically, people usually just read these by kind of going here and going, they'll see that's science approved, indigenous thing. Oh, it's got these in it. Okay, that sounds good. And then they'll scroll back up. So the fact that you're addressing this tool is a good thing to do. All natural ingredients with no side effects. Another objection to overcome. So, yep, you're doing it well. Feel the difference nature can make. These are kind of repeated bullets. Big testimonial section. I'll recommend a hair growth regime. Yep, I often like having a how to use or the instructions, because it also makes people feel like they already have the product or they know what to do when they get the product. Both a how to use and also like a tips for using are really good on long form product pages. The biggest thing that you need to worry about on a product page like this is the order of the objections and just working out what people are probably going to be worrying about most. So I would probably say, like, trusted by over 38,000 women and counting. Like, I think you have mentioned this enough at this point because it's in the very top. You don't need to mention it again here. You can push that right down to the bottom and have that in the FAQs and stuff. I would be pushing this up, which is like, oh, okay, how do you recommend I use this? Now, depending on how this product page is made, this can either be a multi-layered sales page where you are saying this is the only place that they can add these products, in which case it's fine. But if these link off to different pages, beware of doing that because you do not want to push people away from the page you've already pushed them to because it gets a bit confusing. The thing that I would be doing is bundling this and having this whole product page as a bundle. That's what I would be doing. FAQs, how long do I need to use thingy? Using us, yep, sounds like a good objection. What does it taste like? Interesting. Okay, cool. Not a bad objection. So like the FAQs to me are pretty much just like objection central. Throw anything in there you feel like you haven't been able to hit naturally, and throw in the most important objections as well, because a lot of people will just scroll down to the bottom. Refund policy, make my hair loss due to medical condition. Again, not bad. The reason I'm not looking at this copy too much, like line by line for these bits, is just from what I said earlier. It's because so many people read product pages just by going, is this thing relevant to me? Does it immediately answer my thing? That's why I try to say to people in FAQs, try and answer the question like immediately, with a yes or with a no. Try and be super, super like direct with it. If you can't be direct, because of legal reasons, then of course, yeah, you can string it out a bit. But try to answer them directly because that's what they just want quick action when they're trying to decide on a product. Add to cart 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm not going to go into a whole thing here about basket options because that's like a whole other conversation, not really related to copy. But typically that's something that like either you don't want to have like an action section at the top where you have those choices if you're trying to run it down here to have like 3 options, having kind of like a decoy offer. I don't know if I have the patience to go into that right now because there's still like 6 other pieces of copy we get into, but to answer your question,
send a question in Discord to me, and I will talk about that. And there's also plenty of other Whetstone Wednesdays where I've gone deep into that discussion. So
there we go. Hit us up on Discord. And I think you asked me to also look at the second headline, which I guess is Inofix. Inofix hair growth supplement. Get thicker, longer hair with a breakthrough supplement based on the all-natural approach used by indigenous Inuit women for generations. Much prefer this one. That's the first one. As for your actual question, is this good enough to use as a portfolio piece? I'd say so. Get this mocked up. Send this to a designer or get this in Canva yourself. Make this look like a product page. Yeah, it's a good product page, dude. Like I'd be pretty happy if you made this for me. I would certainly go through and edit bits as we've just discussed. But good attempt, whoever sent that in. Okay, now Sean's here. I'm going to risk going back to questions for a bit, but we're going to lightning answer these. So, Sean, if you hear a question that you want to answer, let me know. And I'm actually going to move this over this side now because I'm really struggling to see what the questions are. Okay. Oh my life, there's so many questions. I'm not going to answer any about getting clients right now. The vibe in this mic and setup makes the stream seem very chill. That's awesome to know. Thank you, dude. Should I watch the 5-hour course, then watch the new course? What do you think about that, Sean?
I think that people should watch the 5-hour course because it's probably going to be another 2 months before the new course comes out.
That is also a fair point.
So, practically speaking, now if people want all the information that's in the 5-hour course will be in the longer course. And so what I would recommend doing is when it comes out, watch the new course first. And then if you want a refresher, a knowledge filler upper, a reminder. Some people like doing that. They like getting the same information presented to them in multiple ways at multiple times, because it helps them retain that information. And then that would be the value of like going back to the 5-hour course after the long course.
I love the 5-hour course is no longer the long course. That's now going to be the filler, the refresher.
Yeah.
That's great.
There should be a link in the the description below to the Discord if you copy pasted the description.
I did do that, I'm pretty sure. So have a look in the description. Okay, I'm still back up here. So my plan is to buy your stuff after I succeed. Please only do it if it's going to be beneficial. How should I decide what a nurture email contains? That's a very specific question. Sean, I know you like nurture emails.
I do, and it really depends on the kind of nurturing you're doing and the context. It's one of those unfortunate copy that answers of it depends. So, like for example, if you are nurturing cold leads, for example, or if you're nurturing warm leads, people who signed up for the list, or if you're nurturing in a welcome sequence versus like, nurturing with an engagement email after they've been on your list for 6 months, like those emails all contain different things. And so I would need a lot more context before I could answer that. But generally speaking, a nurture email is almost indistinguishable from a value email. You give some sort of like valuable piece of information that either gives more information about what the business or the product or what it does and how it can help people, or conversely gives people information that they are eager to receive and excited to read. And all of that builds the credibility and relationship between the customer, the prospect, and the business. So
nice. Do you guys have a video tutorial? A tutorial on a video scripts? Not
friend of the show, Ed Lawrence, has a channel called Film Booth and another channel called Creator Booth, and he has a live. It's like a 3-hour presentation, totally free, and it breaks down probably the best way for a newbie to get an introduction into writing YouTube video scripts. Now, that's YouTube video scripts. That's different from like VSLs that are on Instagram or Facebook. Yeah. So if you want to write those, that's out there, that's free.
And I will absolutely be like doing a lot more ecom video lessons very soon. People in the boot camp are about to get it in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to be posting on my own channel when we kick that off, hopefully this year. Well, will be this year. I'll be doing a lot of videos about that because I've been writing a lot of scripts recently. Do you mean like UGC stuff when you say ecom video script writing? UGC scripts are absolutely something that you can write. I'm literally writing some now for like these varicose vein treatment things. So like that's from UGC, means user generated content, for anyone who doesn't know, which is from the point of view and being spoken by someone who's used the product. That's definitely one type, but there are also many, many other types of scripts you can write. VSLs are everywhere, disguises Instagram and TikTok users' posts. Yep, absolutely. How do you find these ecom companies to work for? Just search a niche that you're interested in that sell physical products and open up the links on Google, because then you have a load of stores. Do you have a particular favorite e-commerce video? Do you mean like an ecom ad? Because in which case, there's one that Sean shared recently that we both quite like, which is from a brand who I'm consulting with, who I had a call with.
The yesterday. Snoring one.
Yeah, because when you sent that, I was like, because there was a line in it about the Italian patent.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's Quiet Lab. I know them. And I was like, is it them, or maybe it's just maybe they're white labeled? But no, it is them. Because I hadn't watched that version, but I'd watched other ones with completely different assets, and I'd given them advice on how to improve. So that one may have been written after my advice. I don't know. I don't know how long ago it was, because I spoke to them a few months ago. But I'm working on them now with TikTok and UGC scripts and a few things. So that's fun. But in terms of me, I do have a couple of favorite e-commerce videos. I really, really love infomercials. And there are a couple. There's one called Vaporwave, which are like these things in the oven, like what you call them, trays, like baking trays and stuff, that I love, which I'll link at some point. So yeah, there are a few.
My favorite e-commerce video is either Flex Tape or the Freedom Mom one, where it's like all the problems that women encounter when trying to breastfeed.
Yeah, that was a good one. That hit hard. I'm definitely gonna swipe that someday. Should we? Oh, we should omit product names from product pages. Not necessarily. You don't have to. And what I usually say is like include the product name on the first image. Is usually what I say, like on the page. Now I can argue for days with like SEO experts about this because so often if you're trying to rank organically, it'll be like, no, you have to have the product page name as H1 on the page, which fine. If that's your strategy and you're doing that, fine. But in most cases, products are not ranking organically.
That's also fucking bullshit, and we know that now too because we also know that Google's spiders are looking at the text in images too and reading it.
You're preaching to the choir, boy. I know this. But anyway, go and have that debate with SEO people. The point is like that where people usually have the product name, that is prime real estate. That is like the first thing you see when you go on a product page. Why would you waste that with either a boring product name that people already know what it is, or just like a repeat of what they've just read on the ad before, which usually has the product name in it for whatever reason. So like, yeah, I tend to omit that from the big text and I'll put a testimonial there, or I'll put an objection cracker or whatever, by something to fight an objection. And I'll either not have the product name in it because it's not needed, or I will just have it as a bullet or a very small text as a subhead under that, or on the first image. You know, a lot of times like it will be useful to have the product name just because people need to make sure they're in the right place if they've clicked from somewhere. But so often it just does not matter. Okay, we're getting through this. Alex, for an apparel product page, if you had both images with models and also videos and GIFs that autoplay, where would you place those? So I do not have data to like tell me. I've never done a test on like clothes with the first image being a still versus being a video, so I don't know. I also don't really like working for clothing brands, if I'm completely honest. I find it quite boring. But the thing that I do know about clothing brands is having an aspirational model as the first image is definitely something you want to do. So someone that person aspires to be, whether it's like a kind of a muscly dude or a really beautiful woman or whatever. And also just people are conditioned now, particularly people who shop for clothes a lot, are conditioned to swiping through images quite quickly. So make sure your first 3 or 4 images are like the product with an aspirational model, the product like in action, so having a GIF or a video with someone swirling around so they can get like a full look. The next one being the packaging it comes in, because that is doing like you're effectively just getting rid of objections that people are going to have. So they see it with a beautiful person, great, that looks really nice, I like that. Then they see a 360 thing of someone using it or, you know, wearing it. And then they see the packaging is going to come in, and then they might see like the back of it with measurements and stuff. You're kind of immediately getting past all the objections that might take you a few paragraphs to explain normally, whereas they're just used to scrolling. So that's my advice there. I hope to make the title of this live product page copy review by Alex so I can search for it later. Just go into the live tab on YouTube.
I already answered this person's question in the questions chat of Discord. And I basically said that like if we named it that would describe 15 of these Whetstone Wednesdays.
It's also true.
And you can also save videos in YouTube. You just hit there's a button down below. It says save to watch later.
Or just like copy and paste the URL.
Yeah, only solutions. There's no problems.
Off-topic question, but when does the Platinum offer launch and how much will it cost? I'm gonna launch it this month.
Well, the Platinum. So I've already soft launched the Platinum offer, basically to people that already have Patreon in the Discord, and I created an order form, and I basically gave people a coupon that said like if you have Patreon, like you can get the Platinum collection for $0 the first month, and it would be $20 every month following from that. And that's going to be the Platinum collection. It's going to be the same price point is the Patreon, $20 a month. Again, that's what we're all about. Just try to give good information at a reasonable cost, so people make a lot of money, so they can give us more money if they think we deserve it. There are a few people in our boot camp that are working on the launch copy for this right now, and we will see how that goes. There's some potential there. I can see there's some potential there. So
yeah, so hopefully it'll be this month. To kind of replace Patreon. Why are you two now suddenly dressed your age? I don't know who that's more insulting to.
I feel incredibly insulted right now.
Yeah, I feel like I usually just wear plain stuff. I'm repping Elden Ring today. Wouldn't adding objection overcoming make the action section too bulky? I just wonder if having too much copy crammed in above the fold would turn off the reader. You want to take this?
Is this time for a Sean story?
Sean, you go.
You were there for this, Alex. Do you remember when we sat with the CRO person for Citibank?
Yes, yeah, I do.
So this was at a huge marketing conference, and she presented on stage, and one of the things that I asked this woman was, so CRO is basically conversion rate optimization. The way that you do that is basically by split testing a bunch of pages and seeing which one performs better, and then gradually moving towards the things that work as opposed to the things that don't. It takes a lot of time. CRO is very, very good money for people that know a combo of marketing strategy and copywriting skills. It's a really, really good marriage of the two. Lots of money to be made there. And so I asked her, because she's just split testing constantly, what is one split test where you always know what the result is going to be, but the clients just never want to test it, never want to try this? And she said, without missing a beat, long copy. Longer copy, write longer copy. Make your pages longer, write longer copy. It wins almost every time. That fear of writing too much, of sections being bulky, is unfounded until you test it. And what you're going to find is that if you overcome more objections, you might actually make more sales. Because that's usually what happens. You are completely muted, my boy.
I muted my mic, that's why. Thank God. I was like, oh God, it's broken. No, it's just idiocy. Yeah, 100% right. The only caveat to add to that is, when this person's asking, make the action section too bulky, there's something to be said about like visual hierarchy and understanding how to make something look like not overwhelming. But in terms of like having too much copy or worrying like there's too much crammed in, like you don't need to worry about that, in the sense of people will keep reading to the point that they like find the thing that they're interested in, so long as you're leading into it. So what I mean by that is if there are bullets, there's an obvious section of bullets, and they drop slightly below the fold, but it's obvious there are more bullets there, like people who are after information because they want to try and overcome an objection, like they will scroll down a little bit to see the rest of that bullet, as long as it's obvious that it carries on, right? So don't worry about that too much. As long as the visual hierarchy is not like, oh, I can't even read anything because it's all tiny, and as long as it's obvious what you're trying to get across in each section, you don't need to worry about that at all. And when I say, when you say copy crammed in, it's also your job as the copywriter to like choose what the most important objections are. The other thing on ecom product pages, which is great, is drop downs. And you can have a whole little section about dimensions and delivery and returns. And within those, they can all have 2 or 3 bullets in. And those are 3 objections there, where if someone's seeing it, they're used to seeing those things there. If they have objections related to those things, they can drop them down really quickly, super easy. It leaves this space here with your bullets for actual product objections, which is what I tend to leave that for. So don't worry about that. Where am I? I think there was a website of successful video scripts that are ecom related. If you know the names, do you mind sharing it? I don't know of that. Don't know.
I am ignorant.
Yeah. I'd like to, if you find out what that is, send it to me, because that sounds like it would be interesting. So I'll have to do good old Konstantinos, which I always muck up where the emphasis goes.
Can I tell you something fun, Alex, about Konstantinos?
Yeah, of course.
So, because people have been complaining about the low resolution of our oldest videos up in our paid products, I've been making an active effort to improve them, to upscale them with either AI or tapping our video editor to zoom in on stuff, and basically revising our oldest fucking videos. So that means I've been rewatching some of our oldest fucking videos, and in one of them, it was like one of the first videos that we ever put on the Copy That channel. And it was me reviewing emails and talking to Konstantinos. And now, a few years later, Konstantinos is working for really, really big direct response brands, working with some of the best direct response minds that are out there, literally working with like an actual marketer that is a really, really good friend of mine and just knows her shit up, down, left, right, and sideways. Like Konstantinos is a really good example of somebody who like went from getting his copy reviewed on something like this to actually having a really, I mean, I hope it's a really fulfilling and fun career. So
nice. He has been a G for a long time, and like I have really liked him.
And he's a good dude.
He is, and like I'm pretty sure the emphasis is Konstantinos. I think. Please let me know if that's right, Konstantinos, because I've tried to get it right for like 4 years, and still there are too many syllables where you can put emphasis. It's not fair.
It's emphasis, Alex.
Oh, sorry. You're like this. I've made the crocodiles in denial joke like 6 times since I've been home. I don't know if you remember. It was we were both sleep deprived, but you made that joke about 3 times in one 24-hour period, and I was just like, I think on the last time I was like, Sean, if you say it one more time, I'm gonna punch you, because like it was at the point where it's actually grating my head. But now I use it. So anyway,
I'm glad I'm a good influence on you.
Should you practice writing lift emails / e-com sales pages more than value emails? I heard that value emails that teach, entertain people don't sell. Yeah, you want to mix. I personally find value emails like more entertaining, more fun, therefore easier maybe to write. Like they feel easier, but I think that's just because I enjoy them more. But you should practice everything. I wouldn't. Maybe this is the wrong opinion, but like I wouldn't just value how much you do something based on how much it earns. Like I think you should also you can learn things from value emails for emails that sell and vice versa.
Yeah. Alex, did you just inadvertently come to the defense of brand copy?
I may have done. Rod may be rubbing off on me.
I mean, I've seen that happen, but
oh yeah, only metaphorically. Damn. But yeah, so yes, e-com sales pages and lift emails are almost certainly going to drive more revenue than value emails. However, that doesn't mean you shouldn't practice them.
Yeah, it's also value emails are good for list health too. Another thing with this type of practicing stuff like that too is you don't. Let me try to put it this way: if you take karate and you learn how to front kick, and you learn how to front kick really, really, really good, and then you go into a competition and all you're doing is front kicking, well, guess what? You're going to get swept and you're going to lose because you don't have versatility. The value of learning and reading and exposing yourself and practicing other types of copy, value emails is an example of that, is that it at least gives you some fundamentals across, like horizontally in your skill set. So that when you are going up for jobs or talking to other people about possibly expanding the work that you do for them, and they go, well, can you do this? You don't go, no, I only do this. Because that's how you don't make money as a copywriter.
Yeah. 100%. I don't think there's anything I can add to that.
Learn karate is what I'm trying to say.
Learn a martial art. If I find myself writing long emails that are more than 300 words, either by adding value or a story, how do I avoid this if needed? I just confuse myself sometimes because I feel like emails are too empty otherwise and look mega salesy, which is disgusting, to be honest. I mean, I would say the length of an email is not what you should be concerned about. It's the quality of the content in that email, the copy, the words you're using. Are you actually saying something that's going to be useful and interesting to the reader, obviously related to the objective that you have, whether that's a lift to send someone to a specific page or to engage with someone or to try and sell them on a product in an email and then lead to a product page. What's the email trying to do is the first question you need to ask. Who is it going to, and how long? What are they expecting to see? How long have they been on the list? All those kind of questions. And then, is the copy you're writing actually going to help fulfill that objective? If the answer is yes to all those things, or if the answer is yes to that thing, then great. You don't need to worry about the length or feel like, oh, it's too empty.
Alex, can I show by click-through rate the best performing copy that email that has ever gone out?
Oh, is that like to full list, or is that by percentage?
To the full list.
To the full. I would be super interested. Please share.
And we have data to back this up. And here it is. The best performing by clicks lift we've ever sent.
What do you notice about that, guys? There's a lack of something.
Words. It's, we're talking about length of copy. You can't get with any less copy than this.
That is a PNG.
Yes. The secret to good email copy, and then literally the thumbnail of that video. This had, by percentage, the highest CTR of anything we've ever sent to the full list.
Nice.
There's a lesson in there somewhere. I'm not sure where, but...
I'm not sure what it is. Probably something about if the perceived value is there, then, you're doing a good job.
There you go.
Okay, and then also, rather embarrassingly, Konstantinos has just said it's on the D, which is what I thought it was, but then I always thought I got it wrong, which is why I put it earlier on.
It's Konstantinos. I'm American.
It's Konstantinos.
Exactly.
Eats Doritos. Right, okay, I'm moving on because I'm tired. Hi, Alex, just wanted to get your thought on this ad and how you'd improve it. It's a neck/pillow massager. Now let me copy this and open it up in another tab quickly. And then drag it on. Oh, am I even sharing anymore? I don't know. I think I am. Yeah, I am.
You were just the wrong window.
Oh, okay, right. So what do I improve? Okay, so let's have a look at the actual copy first. I have a terrible hump in the back of my neck because my posture has been absolutely atrocious from sitting at a desk. It took serious toll on my self-esteem. Moving. And I developed neck pain from it. But this body pillow popped up my feed, and I'm so glad I got it. I've been using it every night, and I can't believe it's actually gone. Chris M, USA. Reduces neck hump and eliminate discomfort. No expensive chiropractic visits. Shop now and save 50% off for a limited time. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this, so Sean, if you could let me know. Can you hear that?
I cannot.
It's because I'd have to. I tell you what,
share more differently.
I do. However, it's just an AI voice, and we can read the copy there. So let's just do that.
You might want to zoom in a little bit first.
We are as zoomed as we can be.
Okay.
A woman with neck hump lay on the TheraPillow for 2 weeks. Here's what happened. After 1 minute, her cervical spine realigns to its natural curvature, as traction therapy caused her neck to stretch and relax repeatedly. After 15 minutes, tightness and tension melt off her neck and shoulders thanks to the pillow heat and massage therapy. After 5 days, she's in less discomfort as the pillow's TheraBlend technology restores her natural neck curve that was once lost, and after 2 weeks, her neck hump had faded dramatically. Her posture no longer forward, and she's able to go out without feeling like covering up. TheraPillow is 52% off and comes with a 90-night money-back guarantee. Calix TheraPillow, shop now. All right. Now, I can already tell you that ad is probably doing pretty well. And we can hopefully prove that ad is doing pretty well because it's been running since the 21st of October, 2024. Usually, if Meta advertisers know what they're doing, they're not going to run an ad for more than, say, a month if it's not doing well and it's not bringing good ROAS back. So in terms of how this is doing and can I improve this, we can absolutely talk about it, but let's talk about why that was a good ad and what it's doing well. you mind if I go off, or do you want to say anything before I do?
No, once you got back to reviewing copy, I went back to doing more work for the boot camp.
Go do your work.
Uploading shit and doing stuff. So,
all right, I'll continue. So the first thing, guys, and this is important. Number one, and the most important thing of any ad, like video ad, is the hook. Okay, the first 3 seconds. So let's just have a look at those first 3 seconds again. A woman with neck hump lay on the therapy pillow for 2 weeks. Here's what happened. Okay, that's the first 3 seconds. That's what is said, and those are the images you get. So immediately, if I'm scrolling down, what do I see? I see a diagram of a person with neck pain, very, very clear what's happening, and I see someone with a neck hump, which is ideally what I'm, not ideally, but that's what I'm suffering from. So this is immediately calling out the kind of person and the specific problem that we have. One type of hook you can do is a direct call out. That is what this is. It's also mixing in a bit of a product demonstration because it's showing it straight away. Product demo is a fantastic way because to grab someone's attention, but also to keep their attention because they want to see how something works. Combining that with a direct call out is a fantastic hook. So first of all, that's doing a really good job. We're going to cover this copy first before I go on. Now, you might ask, like, Alex, like, this is just a testimonial. This might not be the actual copy. Testimonials can be the best copy, right? Because not only are you getting the implied proof that, oh, well, this is from someone who's used it, therefore it must be okay. You can also, what do I always say in the 5-hour video, right? IVOC data. Use the words that people are giving you. I have a terrible hump in the back of my neck because my This here, I have a terrible hump in the back of my neck, is doing the same as this hook. It's calling out terrible hump in the back of my neck. That is a problem I suffer from, and it's framing it as someone who already suffers from it. So it feels like what I'm about to read is going to be even more relatable, and I can probably listen to this person because they know what they're talking about, because just like me, they suffer from it. So good there. And this here reduces neck hump and eliminates discomfort. That's not even proper English. It should be eliminates discomfort or reduce neck pain, eliminate discomfort. But the point is, you know what it's getting at, and that's what you want. So it doesn't really matter that there's a grammar mistake there.
It's provocative. It gets the people going.
Exactly. No expensive chiropractor visits. Benefit and like desired outcome, okay, reduces that, eliminate discomfort with a clear not statement of like, you don't need to do this. Here's an objection I'm overcoming. You no longer need to book for the chiropractor. Then, as most good e-com ads will have, a clear, specific offer that shows a discount. We always like those. Makes it a lot easier to sell. That's good. The most important thing here is that it's calling out, okay? Because that's what a Facebook ad needs to do when people are scrolling. It needs to call out directly. We've discussed why the hook is great. Let's have a quick look at what the rest of this ad is doing. Here's what happened. That's like the end. That's the end of the hook, because it's promising that you're going to see what the result was. Now, not only is that great as a call out, just, as part of the call out, because it's promising you're going to see how to fix this problem you have, but also it's really, really hammering at the human trait of curiosity and like a need to satisfy intrigue, which is why Dick emails, lift emails work so well, that we always talk about. Like, if you can set up intrigue at the start of a video ad, people just need to see it through. They need to feel how it finishes, especially if it's related to them. That's why so many TikTok trends and ads and new videos will start with phrases like, "You guys won't believe what happens," like, you won't believe what happened to me, or like, "You guys have to see this," or "Oh my God, I finally did it. Watch this and find out." You guys won't believe what. All these kind of phrases, which are like just trying to eke people into, you have to watch to find out what the big deal is. I have reviewed and studied hundreds of video scripts in the last few months, and like, so that is so common. So it's good that they're building it into the hook this early on. Then immediately, if I suffer from this problem, I know the promise is that this is going to help me solve it. So my biggest question is, how? How does it help me solve it? So they don't waste any time. They dive straight into an actual product demo with visuals showing what happens. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and this is what it's doing. It's showing that it's going to realign. It makes sense to me now. I have a seed of logic, which allows me to see how this would help with my problem. And ultimately, that is what most good e-com video ads need to do. They need to show that it's new. They need to give you a reason why you wouldn't have fixed it with anything else. And it needs to show logically why it's working so I believe it. Because, yep, you can have proof in the form of someone saying it works. Yep, you can have proof in the form of before and after. Oh, that's great. But ultimately, if you don't believe it, if you don't understand why it works, then you're not going to buy it. So that's what a product demonstration tries to show. So this is good. What was the actual question in the thing? Just one of your thoughts on this ad and how you'd improve it. It's like to be completely honest, like there's not a ton I would do to improve this right now, because like it's good copy. The only thing that I would do are run different versions and variants of it with different hooks. So instead of, a woman with neck hump, lay on the TheraPillow, instead of introducing the product immediately, I might instead just have it a big image, big video of someone focused on that and talking about the problem that causes neck humps. So instead of starting with the solution, start with like, if you like, not saying if you, because Facebook doesn't like that, but saying like, women with neck humps probably don't know it's because of this. And then explaining what the problem is. So you're introducing the problem, the reason that's caused the issue that they might not have heard of. So that's a way you can change the frame of the ad entirely. Also, again, you could switch the whole body copy up. So instead of it being more about the demo can only take up maybe 5 to 10 seconds of it, and the rest is like just UGC of people going like, this is amazing, I can't believe it. So in terms of improving it, I would just test it by adding in sections where I'm talking, where you have people talking about how it worked for them, why it's amazing, what it's allowed them to do again, showing the desired outcome of being able to like run or pick kids up or stuff like that. And then, okay, no, it does do. I was going to say I would add the discount and the guarantee at the end, but it does do that. So I don't think I have too much more to add about this. The most important thing with like video ads, and this is where it's very different to like sales letters. You're not just putting all your money and effort and time into one video ad and then running that and hoping to God it works. You are testing a ton of different ones, all that are like have different hooks, have different bodies, have different offer sections. And it means you don't have to get something so perfect. You don't have to look at this and go, okay, how can I improve it? How can I improve it? How can I improve it? Test very, very different things and see what scales more, then take something and work on optimizing it.
One thing about meta ads that I think is very cool, and this is true of Google ads too, though, they're trying to do their what is it, the performance max kinds of ads that I still like. Nobody knows how those fucking work. Yeah. Don't believe anybody who says they do. But with meta ads, what's really cool is that you can create one ad group with 10 different like videos, 10 different hooks, for each video that's the same beyond that. And then what you can do is you can create an automation that basically says like for each ad, like stop running this ad once you hit the $100 mark. Like once you've spent $150 total, not per day, but total. And like you can spend like, $5 max per day and then, cap it at $150 and then do that across all 10 of your ads. And what is that going to do? That's going to give you the cleanest data on what gets clicks. And if you have the pixel running and that what revenue is coming back, you can get a very clear cost per lead. Like, so good. And listen, it's really cool what you can do if you learn meta ads and like the kinds of things that you can actually test. Because again, like I mentioned CRO earlier, you normally just test two things against each other and then do that iteratively. Facebook allows you to test hooks like over and over and over again until like you have clear winners. So
yeah, very good points. Meta is actually a playground for testing. Like it's definitely the most advanced like platform that I've used. Gives you the most options. Okay. We have, I think, 7 things left, and I have 20 minutes left because I do actually want to try and get off relatively early tonight. So I'm going to try and speed through these, but in a useful way. Any questions? Someone said it's also compliant because this is what happens to a woman and not your posture. Yeah, exactly. Facebook really does not like you saying you, does not like you pretending like you know about the person who's watching it. Should I reinstall Instagram and TikTok? I'm struggling to find great e-commerce like this. Like, yeah, like I didn't have TikTok and stuff for a long time just because I wasn't interested. But ultimately, if you want to perform on these platforms and you want to learn it, just download them and look at these
I
things.
use Instagram for two things: studying ads and looking at big titty fitfluencers, and that's it.
Yeah. And that is online forever. So I would encourage everyone to clip that and share it with your friends. But yeah, seriously, I made an Instagram account, I think like 3 years ago. In fact, yeah, 3 years ago at Christmas, or 2 or 3 years ago, just to learn about Instagram marketing. I posted one thing and I haven't used it since. And then I posted on New Year's just saying, oh, I should probably use this more. So yeah, like I would recommend getting them just to have a look at those stuff. But also, there's a great software called Foreplay. And yeah, I know, it's not the best name. But like it's, it was just up actually because I had it up for Facebook ads, but it's just Foreplay, maybe .io, .com. I don't know what .dot is. Just type in Foreplay ads and it'll come up. Be careful what you click. And it's fantastic. It's my favorite behind Canva. It's my favorite software because you can just find just all video ads in different niches, see how long they were running, different platforms. Really, really good. It does cost, I don't know how much it costs a month. I'm paying something for it. Okay, cool. Right, let's crack on. Context, practice bullets for a fitness promo about maximizing your work lunch break to get abs. Question, can you please grade these bullets? Sure. How revolutionizing your lunch break can make a Greek god out of you with no gym, no sweat, and no prohibitive costs. No.
D.
Yeah, like, don't like that. It's one, where is the actual like usefulness of this for me? How do I know what this is talking about? What is the context? What is the context of these bullets as well? I want to know. But anyway, blowtorch your belly fat with the revolutionary lunch break ab system. Warning: your boss may not recognize you come quarterly reviews. I like that more. I think
C minus.
I think you can cut that into something. I'd probably give it a C. Like lunch break ab system. I actually kind of like the idea of lunch break ab system. If you see what I mean, like I quite.
It's that has something going for it.
There's something to that. But blowtorch your belly fat, like fine, but a bit cliche. Revolutionary again, like fine, but it's just cliche. Warning: your boss may not recognize you come quarterly reviews. Tying it back to work. Okay.
Yeah, that just feels lame.
Yeah. How this ancient general's war tactics can blast off your belly fat and carve abs of steel, all without adding time to your busy schedule.
C minus again.
Yeah, these are all quite disconnected. We've used this word a lot today. We were doing this in the boot camp. Like it just kind of feels like you could basically put that anywhere. You could put that anywhere. If you instead reframe this to like, again, I don't even think this is true, but like, you know, how Alexander the Great carved his abs without ever working out. You know, something like that's a bit more like, oh, okay, well, there's something for me to grab onto there. It's a bit interesting. There's something. How this ancient German war tactic can blast off your belly fat and carve abs of steel, like,
yeah, like this is the kind of bullet that should be like right up your alley, Alex. And the fact that it's not tells you something.
Yeah, like there's not enough specificity there for me to grab onto, really. It doesn't tell me enough. It's not useful enough to me for me to go like, oh, what is it? Say something specific. Say like, I don't know, why Roman Republic slingers had the hardest abs in history. That's like, ooh, why? Why did they? That's specific. That makes me feel like, oh, there must be a reason that they know something that happened that I want to know. That's interesting. So specificity, I think this is lacking. What never to eat or do on your lunch break if you want abs in 2025?
That's stronger, but it's the or
like
do. It's the or do.
Eat or do. That's too much, trying to pack too much. Never to eat on your lunch break is like, okay, well, at least you're limiting it to lunch break, so clearly it's something specific within lunch I shouldn't be eating. And never bullets are always fun. Like, never do this thing, because it is intriguing. So that's the strongest bullet so far.
Yep, agreed. And like we know it's the strongest bullet because it's basically ripping off the headline of a famous boardroom package. what never to eat on an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
And like we know that works because it builds immediate intrigue. We know like people want to know. There's an immediate implied benefit there.
Mm-hmm. And then the top 10 lunch break meals if you want abs by summer. Again, I don't mind that. That definitely seems like a listicle title, which I would absolutely see.
Really quick, abs by summer ? The top 10 lunches you need for 2025 or something like that.
Yeah.
Lead with a benefit, build some intrigue.
Exactly. So these last two are the strongest. Why? Because they're a bit more specific. They are implying a benefit, very directly. And also, like, you're actually telling me something useful that I'm going to get when I click through or whatever. I'm actually going to get top 10. I'm going to find out what never to do. These, tactics, blowtorch, there's nothing for me. I don't know what I'm going to be getting on the other side, if you see what I mean. This actually makes it feel a bit more real, like that I'm going to be getting things not to do or things to do on the other side of this. Best bullets on the bottom. Okay. Jessica. Private office membership email. Context. I'm a copywriter for a co-working company. Office leases are one of our main products. This is an email to get our leads to book a tour to see offices. Leads list has already expressed interest. I had a run-in with a company. Okay, no, I didn't add the company name because I don't know how my boss feels about me sharing copyright for company at all. Understandable, Jessica. And Jessica is in the chat as well. Hello, Jessica. So co-working spaces, leasing out offices to businesses makes sense. Please do not type that in chat again. Thank you. Subject line, your office cooled, it needs an upgrade. Now, let me start on that. Now, you've put a few alternatives as well. If your office could talk, would you like what it says? Office envy is closer than you think. Now, I can speak to this because I was involved in upgrading an office last year. Our business moved from one office to another, and I had to talk to people about it. The problem with this, and I know, Jessica, you've said in the chat, yeah, I hate it all. Don't put yourself down, first of all. This is cutesy, and it's a bit clever, and that's my main issue with it. Is it's not kind of like the bullets we were talking about. It's not very specific. It's not telling me. It's not giving me a benefit. It's not giving me a reason why I should click. Because businesses are in one of two states, right? Either they know they want a new office, or they don't need a new office. That's it. And no email is going to convince someone who doesn't need a new office to upgrade offices, right? Unless it leads with such a strong direct offer, which is upgrade to a 2 times your office space without paying a penny more. That might get me to click because I'm like, oh shit, I'd love a bigger office without having to pay any more. That's really direct. But for the most part, you're not probably running an offer that good. So you just need to appeal to the people who know they want to upgrade offices. And if I see this email, am I going to click on it? Maybe, because I know I need to upgrade and it might be something relevant to me. Could this be a lot stronger based on what you know about me? 100%. If you just led with what makes your service the best, if you lead with an objection killer that most people have, even just saying something like, finding the right office is stressful, here's how to fix it. Obviously, you can condense that a little bit so it fits better within a subject line. But empathizing with what they're doing right now, or pointing to a benefit that you guys have, which is find a new office in 1 month, because that was a struggle we had, was finding one that was available and fit all of our clauses or whatever, or the simple way to look at every office spaces now available, something like that. Those are things, I'm not saying that's the best copy in the world, but that's immediately showing me a benefit or an objection I usually have to dealing with people who want to lease out offices. So hopefully, Jessica, that makes sense. Being a bit more specific, a bit more benefit driven in your subject line will immediately cut through if that's, if I'm interested in leasing office space. Hey Alex, inside every corporate professional is a normal person who kind of sort of hates their office space. Dingy walls covered in stock photos, harsh fluorescent lights, old equipment you have to kick a couple times to make work. So again, right. You're obviously a decent writer. You're obviously a good writer because I can read this and it tips off the tongue and it's nice. But the fundamental kind of misunderstanding here is just the case of who are you talking to? You know, I'm not going to go on about this too much, but like the kind inside every person is someone who hates their office space. Are you talking to that person? Is that the kind of person who like leases an office? You'll know better than I do. Maybe people are just like, oh, I wasn't planning on it, but yeah, I want to see what's available. That might be it. I might be completely wrong. But my suspicion is most people who get into like deep in the funnel of leasing an office space are genuinely just looking for a new office space because they already know they want it. So reminding them of like why they want to move, I don't think is the most prudent tactic here because they already know it. They just want the easiest way to move. They want to find the best offices. They want it to be stress-free. I mean, Sean, I know you're doing stuff, but like, have you been paying attention to any of this? And two, does that make sense to you as well?
I've actually been mostly checked out because I've been putting together homework briefs for people. So sorry.
Stick on that. It is not urgent.
Repeat everything that you just said to Jessica so that
I will say it in one sentence, which is my suspicion is most people who would respond to an email about moving offices are already interested in moving offices. Therefore, you don't need to convince them that they should be looking for new offices. They already will be.
Yeah. No, it's, I mean, selling water to a fish. You don't want to do it.
Yeah. So, like, and Jessica, you've just said, I think it makes sense. It's my perpetual struggle with this industry. Either people want it or don't. Believe me, I get it. I've been there. I totally understand. But the thing is, like, that's why you need to be focusing on the people who definitely want it and talking to people, assuming they do. It is beyond your power to make someone want to move offices when they don't need to move offices. Mm-hmm. Sean and I could not do that. So it's not down to you. And I'm not saying this copy is bad because you're a bad copywriter. Like, I'm not saying anywhere near that. I'm saying the copy doesn't make sense because you're trying to force something to be possible that just isn't possible. So it would be, Sean.
No, sorry for interrupting. I'm just like, this isn't a struggle. This is exciting. Imagine you are writing copy for things that people want. Your job as a copywriter for this industry is not to change people's beliefs or notions. They're not to be some asshole's phrase maker. Like, your job is to convince people that want the thing that you have that your thing is the best compared to everybody else that's out there. You're speaking mainly to solution-aware people, and that's really cool. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. It's a huge advantage for you because you can really shine.
I had to sell to pharmacists, right? And like, that was a massive thing for me because I was like, I don't know anything about pharmacists. It's a whole new industry. What kind of stuff do they know? Don't they know? Pharmacists don't wake up going, hey, I want a new software. They do wake up going, God damn, like I need to get, you know, this new government edict like passed so we don't get fined. And that's how you have to shift your thinking. Like, what are the people who you can appeal to? What are they actually waking up thinking about and talking about, right? It's hard to source leads for your business. I totally understand that. But the reality is you're going to source leads far better if you're just talking to them, assuming that they're already looking to lease offices. Because you've said here, like, you know, my assumption also is you upgrade office space as well. So you don't just sell them it and lease them it, but you also... But I think I'm getting that from this copy. You know, you get the quality work done all at the same time, all in one place. Like that, I'm not saying it's a USP as such, because I'm sure there are other companies that do it. But that for sure is something where you can build on that idea. So when you're talking to people, you can effectively tell them directly, you know, like, and I kind of hate this phrase because it's a little bit cliche, but in this case, I think it makes sense. Just saying like all in one, like a new office solution, all in one, or like all from one person, all from one company, sorry. So it's a case of you are not only finding an office space, we'll also build it for you. You know, we'll get all the new stuff. And this is where you can break it down into like talking about things like office chairs, soundproofing, tech setup, you know, phone lines, like TVs, digital stuff. Those are all ideas where I know when we were thinking about moving, like we were like, oh, we're going to have to move all this stuff. And that is an idea for an email subject line right there. You know, like stressing about moving office equipment or whatever, or like, need to get the tech set up straight away, that kind of stuff. Those are all objections where it's like, if I see that in my inbox and I'm already looking to move offices, I'm like, these guys understand me. The only way I would say that you can move people who aren't already thinking about moving offices to move them is by focusing on your offers. Like be super dialed in. I would be doing super like short emails, like super short, super direct, super just like in location. So no, if you're targeting companies in Austin or whatever, just built or like newly available best offices in Austin, 20% off, or like response needed ASAP, or like move in by 6th of December. Things where it's like, it's so punchy and direct and in your face about what it is, with a super short description in the email. It's almost like, if I'm interested in that, I'm like, that's a good point. Yeah, okay, I want that thing. I want the best. I want to move. It's a good opportunity for me because I can't pass this up. I don't think going on about stuff like, it'd be great to get rid of the spotty walls. It'd be great to have like a new change of environment. That is probably not going to convince someone.
So, Jessica, I have a challenge for you. And I learned this from Dean Jackson. And this particular technique is extremely useful for what are called re-engagement emails. Re-engagement emails is a very particular kind of marketing. And it's especially useful when you have a very valuable list or you're selling very, very high-ticket items. Like, for example, this technique that I'm about to reveal was used for selling private jets and yachts. And so I'm saying that right now because if I didn't preface it with that, you wouldn't believe me. Right now, you are writing to a relatively professional, relatively moneyed audience, if you have these leads. Write them an email no longer than 9 words. Dean Jackson's 9-word emails. You can look it up, but honestly, I'm just going to reveal all of his secrets right now, which is very simply that, like, you know, salutation, and then you ask a very simple question. Hey, are you still interested in moving offices? Signed, Jessica. Mm-hmm. And then look and see what responses you get. And then every response you get that is in the positive, you can either email them again, something that's more directly pitchy, like this, or you can forward them to the sales team. Try it. Try just once and see if it works. A 9-word email. And if it works, well, try more stuff like that. And if it doesn't work, well, then try something else. The key thing is to try something that's so far outside of what you're used to thinking about. Because what I'm trying to do here by introducing this concept is breaking your paradigms of what you think a copywriter should do. This email that I'm reading cursorily is indicative of you not having clear mentorship and you not really having a whole lot of guidance and you doing what you think a copywriter is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And what I'm telling you is that's not always necessarily good marketing. And copy that sounds like copy is more often than not bad copy. So try it. Send a 9-word email and see what happens. If you have the ability to change like whom you're allowed to target, send it to the people that are most unengaged and see what you can get.
Good advice. Just as I said, short, direct. It will cut through. Should cut through. No promises. But Jessica, you're clearly a talented writer. This all reads very well. Like, as Sean said, I just think it's a case of trying things you're not comfortable with and having that kind of mentorship there as well. But I say this is written very well. So if you just adjust that into that kind of new frame of thinking, I think you'll do great. And Jessica said, heard, I agree with everything that's being said. Hope we helped / glad we helped. Thank you very much for submitting. Oh man, I technically should go in 1 minute.
I have to watch my boy because Kaylee needs to go pick up the girl and our nanny is running a little bit late. I'm I gotta go.
Go be super dad. I will.
I will not be super. I will be the perfectly average mediocre dad that I am.
Dad.
Dude, Alex, we have streamed together since basically 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, yeah. 6 hours. Man, 6
6
hours.
hours.
Oh God.
6 hours that we have been on screen.
I was writing a SaaS homepage today, which I haven't done in ages.
Nice.
That it's still up in my tab over there. I need to get back to it at some point. Anyway.
I have, let's see, what else do I have? I have to review an essay from Mark. I have to write a report, and I have to work on another report. So that's going to be what I work on a little bit later.
Perfect. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna get these done, but I'm gonna blitz through because I did promise someone I would be off by 10.
Alex, you are a pimp, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
You too, dude. Go have a good baby. Fingers
Won't
crossed.
be me. I'll be the moral support, the peanut gallery.
I hope it gets done soon, for Kaylee's sake.
Yeah, me too. Everybody watching, keep at it. Listen. Really good advice that we got from a guest speaker for our boot camp today was actually the author of Great Leads, Mark Ford, and he said that really the best advice that he can give to new copywriters is just keep writing. Like everybody's going to take a different amount of time to get to where they want to be. But if you persist, you will get to where you want to be. The only common thing between all the people who made it is that they didn't give up. So I believe in you. Keep learning. And if you keep learning, it's going to transfer over to any other career, even if you don't end up being a copywriter. So, that's an advantage. That's an advantage. And with that, I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, see you, Sean. All right, guys. I'm going to blitz through these then. And this is a dog food one, which I like. Okay. Dog owners looking for healthy, high quality, and easy to prepare dog food. Super high quality, freshly cooked dog food formulated by vet nutritionists, 30 plus years of combined experience, 3 types of freeze, landing page to convert all traffic that lands. Okay, cool. So the actual copy is below. Oh, right. Okay, so that's been moved off. Freshly cooked dog food tailored to your dog's needs and delivered right to your doorstep. Now, I have written a lot of dog copy, right? I've written for natural food, dog food brands. I've written for subscription boxes. I've written for treats. I've written for GPS trackers. I have written for training programs. I've written a lot of dog copy. The thing I can tell you about dog copy that works is being there. I keep using this, the word keeps coming up, being very, very hyper specific about something you do that's different. Freshly cooked dog food tailored to your dog's needs and delivered right to your doorstep. There are a ton of companies that do that, right? So that's the first thing you're going to contend with. Like, is that okay as a headline? Yeah, it's fine. It does what it says on the tin. That's not like, it's enough. It's enough. Is it great? No. How can you make it great? Find the thing that your service offers or your food has that no one else has or that no one else is talking about, right? That can be a perceived USP, kind of setting yourself some intellectual property. So talking about, the wolf diet in like quotation marks or something like that, saying, a return to nature, gift your dog I can't remember what I say, the wolf diet. Gift your dog a wolf diet that will treat their insides, something like that. So it's a bit more like, oh, that's different, that's new, that's something I might not have seen before. And then you can play through the rest of the page on like the wolf diet and why it's the best thing and why it's really good and why natural is better, stuff like that. Delivered right to your doorstep. Like, I would not waste space with that in the headline. I would just have that as like a big tick, like delivery to your doorstep, like next day, whatever you want to say, all that generic stuff that people have on pages like this. Formulated by expert vet nutritionists with 3 decades of experience, Yo Doggo meals feature freshly cooked and super healthy dog food made from 100% high quality human ingredients, easy to store, easy to serve, and deliver right to your doorstep. Again, fine, but tell me why. Like, why is this different? So formulated by expert vet nutritionists, and something else that you need to get used to, and I think people should be doing more, is not just putting this in copy, but putting it in a diagram, putting it in an image that shows that. Have a photo of the vet nutritionist, right? That's done it. Have a professional looking photo of them there with their arms crossed, with their signature, with who it is, with their credentials. A quote from them saying like, this is the dog food that's going to that helps aligns, you know, blah blah blah, pups' stomachs, or like helps them do whatever the big benefit of your dog food is that you perceive it to be, and have that. That is basically saying this. You can say this stuff, but it can be said by an expert in a much more professional manner that shows what you're saying is true rather than just telling. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that you need to be looking at. Shaggy just said, like, I could imagine a quiz funnel here. Quiz funnels are super common for this kind of page. Like right now, I can think of one off the top of my head, which I'll pull up. Oh, I'm doing it in the wrong window again. Which does a quiz funnel, which I'm used to. So hang on, if it wants to load. Oh, there we go. So butternut box, like these guys do exactly that. And the whole kind of shtick they're going with, and obviously we can go back. Let's just go to the homepage. The whole shtick that they go with is like immediate quiz funnel, like straight away. Now, of course, this isn't necessarily where the ads are running from. Obviously, we're not looking at all the landing pages right now. Like this is an actual landing page. But the modern way to feed your dog. Not the best copy, but you'll see this goes straight into a quiz funnel. So you build your box and then you talk about the name, So super common. I've built a bunch of these. The point is, like, the way to get ahead in this industry is you need to create an IP for yourself. You need to create something that you do, whether it's like wolf diet or it's, you know, butternut stuff, whether it's butternut stuff. Sorry, whether it's specific ingredient stuff, I should say, like butternut. I know you do quite a lot of that. Something that makes it different, right? Oh, there's a whole conversation going on. Hopefully, okay, no, we're all good. I've never seen him lick the bowl clean before. Eddie's always been fussy about him, but not with Yo Doggo, plus carrying and preparing food. Like, okay, great. For busy dog parents, get fresh and healthy dog food delivered right to your doorstep, hassle-free. What is that? 102. What? Is that just another version of that? I'm going to ignore that. Oh, are these all different hero sections? Oh, sorry. Okay, I see. The only freshly cooked dog food backed by 34 plus years of vet nutrition experience, like, okay, potentially fine, but not really that strong, not really telling me why it's great. Fresh dog food formulated by vet nutritionists with 34 years of experience. Again, all this is all fine. This copy is fine, and like it would pass for most businesses, but it's just not when you compare it to the other brands that you're going to have to compete with on this level. Like, I'll just get another one up as well, and I've done it in the wrong window again. Where are they? Where are tails? There they are. Okay, that's gone on. But like, when you're dealing with like stuff like this, where they are spending so much cash on this kind of stuff and on like quiz funnels, and they can outspend you, you need to have something that is just yours and that's super different, right? So again, like, this stuff is fine, and I'm not saying it's bad copy. It's just not going to blow anyone away, and it's not different enough from what's already there. Even you, yeah, the whole human to dog thing is quite common. I wrote those like 4 years ago when they weren't as common, about like, oh, like human ingredients in dog food, and like we actually had someone eating out of a dog bowl, like them literally eating it with a fork and saying it's good enough for me to eat. You know, why would you treat your dog any different to how you treat you? The only thing that's different is like their digestive system, but the ingredients should all still be good enough for you to eat. But for years you would have been disgusted by the idea of eating a can of dog food. Not anymore. That's now become a very kind of commonplace one, but I'm not going to say we pioneered that, but we certainly did it very early on. Fresh dog food backed by vet nutrition and science, not just marketing BS. Meals feature human quality meat and vegetables, gently cooked to create tasty and complete meals. Fine. You know, like, this copy is all fine. It's passable. It will do okay. It's not going to win any awards in terms of like best ever copy. So when you're asking me like, you know, how do I do this like better, or like what can I do to improve this, I would say run this as it is and then create a whole new page which goes for a completely different angle, which is all like the IP stuff that I spoke about, right? Yeah, like why is he not at the very top talking about that? Okay, hopefully I have like okay, ignore the rest. Right, hopefully that's enough there for you to go off of. I would really recommend looking at competitors and just asking yourself if their brand name and logo is at the top, what makes it different to them? Really important to go through. Oh man, okay, 25 pages. I need to go because like I actually promised that I would be off my computer today like 10 minutes ago, so I actually need to go and spend time with someone. These 4 here, I will get to another time. I see someone is waiting on one of them. I will get to in another Whetstone Wednesday. In fact, anyone who has one of these, okay? I'm streaming tomorrow from 7:30 p.m. GMT, okay? So half an hour earlier than I started today. I'm streaming in again tomorrow to do a free masterclass. But please remind me and message me either on Discord or message me tomorrow on the masterclass and say, hey, can you get to those last 4 bits you didn't review yesterday? Please tell me that, and I will do it after tomorrow's stream. I promise, as long as you remind me and I see it. Just spam the chat like at the end of the live stream tomorrow, and I will do it. Because I do want to read these. I cannot justify spending another like half an hour doing these tonight. I'm going to blame Sean. I always blame Sean. Okay, cool. So please remind me and we will get to it. Jessica, I too must go. Thanks, Alex. See you on Discord. Jessica, always love to see you. Thank you very much. Hope that was helpful today as well. Have a good one. Question, if you have time, why would you say quiz funnels are so popular in dog food markets? It's because they work best. It's because the whole shtick of dog food, of that kind of dog food, is that it's tailored to your dog. Because everyone has this idea that different breeds must, different things must be good for different breeds, and different ingredients must be good for different ages. And because people already have that perception, like it's already worked into our heads, it makes sense that we would want to tailor that first. Because that's the only big promise you can make, really. It's like, oh, the reason you shouldn't just go to the supermarket and buy dog food is because ours is tailored. So go through our quiz. You can't go to the store and say to the cashier, hey, give me tailored dog food, because it's like, well, they can't build it for you. It's just what's in the bags. With us, you can go through and you can tell us about your dog, the breed, how old they are, if they have any, hyperallergenic issues or whatever, and go off there. So that's why it's so popular, because it just lends itself to the human idea we have anyway, which is that tailored is better, especially when it comes to our, pets who can be very different. So that's why. Yeah, exactly. So really common as well for workout plans. Like you'll see that for anyone who's like wants to lose fat, like lose weight or build muscle, they'll be like, oh, what's your body type quiz? And like they'll give you a structured plan for your body type. So anything where the person knows the subject of the product is unique, quiz funnels tend to work pretty well. All right. Someone said, okay, what time again? I believe it's 7:30 p.m. GMT. Let me check that right now. So it's half an hour earlier than we started today. It isn't even in my it isn't even in my calendar. I should add that to my calendar. Let me go on YouTube. Copy that. Videos live. 7:30 p.m. So 7:30 p.m. GMT. So that's 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, EST tomorrow. I will do a full masterclass for everyone that will be filmed professionally, which will be put into our long course, and then I'll do a Whetstone Wednesday, and I'll do a Q&A at the end. All right. Cool. I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, there we go. The light's a little bit better now, isn't it? Like the ecom thing. I'll see if I can mess things about a little bit. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Sorry I didn't quite get to everyone. I usually do, and I try very hard to, but I just can't stay on for any longer today. Hopefully see you tomorrow. For anyone who's here who hasn't got any Whetstone Wednesday stuff, yep, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. EST, there will be a free live masterclass about how to land copywriting jobs in-house, how to secure full-time positions at companies doing copywriting. So if that's interesting to you, check back in 7:30 p.m. GMT, 2:30 p.m. EST tomorrow. Subscribe down below, which I fucking never say anymore. Probably should say it more. Subscribe down below, hit the bell icon, you'll get a notification, blah, blah, blah. I hope this has been useful today. Sorry I didn't get to everyone. I will get to everyone tomorrow. And I hope everyone achieves their dreams and has a good day / night / evening / morning. Thank you very much for being here. I will talk to you all again soon. Bruno said fine mesh in front of the ecom sign might work. That's not a bad idea. That's a pretty good call. Just because it's on like it's like on clear plastic. So maybe. That's not a bad idea. I might give that a go. Thank you for that. Bye Paula, bye Bruno, bye Shaggy, bye Jessica, bye everyone who's joined today. Thank you very much. I'm going to end the stream now. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you again very soon.